What's up, guys? Frankietrades here, bringing you another new weekly stock watch list. Like I said, guys, I promised you guys I'd be bringing these every Sunday again, and I wouldn't let you guys down. So, going into the video, since we do have a lot on our plate, but before we dive into the watch list, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. I'd really appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. Finally hit 1,100 subscribers. It's crazy. I didn't think I could grow a channel this far with you guys. It wouldn't all be possible without you guys and your guys' support with the videos that I put out. So hope you guys are actually learning something from these as well. So let's go ahead and dive into the watch list. As far as the earnings calendar goes, we really don't have too much going on. Quantum, QMCO, that might be something to look out for. Besides that, not really seeing anything else. No airlines or banks just yet. Usually when you get airlines and banks, that's when the tech earnings are right around the corner. They do report near the end of this month, I believe, maybe in another 2 weeks. So maybe we'll start seeing some of the big names of certain companies starting appearing next week and into going into July. So yeah, nothing to worry about earnings week, so that's pretty nice. And then the watch list, guys. There is a lot to cover, believe me, when I do say that. So we'll be covering some things pretty quickly here, but to the point where you guys are still able to understand what's going on and be able to grasp of where the market is at and what stocks that I'm currently watching. So as far as NQ goes, we really don't have to put this on the bigger time frames, maybe the 1 hour or anything under that, just because we're at all-time highs. There really isn't much to really look at. You can see here that we're currently in a consolidation at this current moment. This can change overnight with NQ either gapping up, gapping down, who knows. But as far as what my chart has in front of me and what I am able to see, we are currently in a consolidation as of right now. Like I said, this can change overnight, but we have a double bottom at 19,500, and then we're currently having a flat top at least around the 19,700 area. So that is what I'm currently watching on NQ. No trend lines or anything that I have noted down for this. Pretty simple setup, so we can see that NQ is nearing all-time highs again. So we could safe to say, we could see more either highs in the markets, some more all-time highs from the top 3 stocks right now, which are NVIDIA, Microsoft, and Apple. Who knows? We'll have to see going into Monday morning where NQ is at. So kind of the same story here with ES as well. If I go in on here, guys, with the 30-minute time frame, you can see that we're kind of nearing the all-time highs again. Pretty far away from both the downside and the upside. Upside's probably roughly $20 away. Downside's roughly $30 to $40 away. So it's kind of in between, with ES being a little bit more behind the all-time highs as compared to NQ. Obviously, both are completely different sectors, but it's something to keep in mind here. So as far as the 1 hour time frame goes, I do have a trend line here at the bottom that gives us room all the way down to 53.90. If we happen to gap down and get near that, that is a trend line worth noting down and being having to be aware of. So, and then as far as the top side goes, I am watching ES above 54.50. Any sort of close or above that, because you can see the past 3 days of last week, you can see that that's the level we struggled to actually hold and break. So that is something I'm going to be looking out for on ES, is that 54.50 level, and after 54.50 is get some sort of confirmation to get that all-time high at 54.50. So a lot of 54s in that. So, and then the most important part, your guys' favorite part of the watch list, is the main stock watch list. So we'll go ahead and cover the important stocks first. As far as my main watch list, first thing that I am watching is AMD. Why am I watching AMD even if it isn't a clean area, Frankie? The reason being is we have seen a lot of highs in the market as far as the chip stocks go. That's kind of the whole sector of everything being important right now. Is AI, chips, those are pretty much the 2 biggest things right now. SMCI has been doing significantly well. NVIDIA, obviously, you guys know how well that stock has been doing in that company overall. All these chip stocks have been doing relatively well for themselves, meeting all-time highs, making new highs, all this stuff. And then you have AMD over here kind of just falling off the edge of, I want to say edge of the earth, but that's kind of the vibe that it's giving off of. Just looking at the chart, you could see how much this is currently struggling. And if you compare it to something in NVIDIA, as we'll see later, you could see how well NVIDIA is doing compared to a stock like AMD, where the all-time high isn't until 227. And we are, what, 40, 60, $70 away from that, and we're not even above 180 to even say that. Even 170, which is an area where it cannot hold. You can see here on the screen where it's currently struggling to get above. So there's 2 ways we can look at AMD. Either it's weak, it doesn't have the same sort of sentiment as the other AI chip stocks, or it could be another signal where maybe the market isn't as hyped as it seems to be, and AMD is already ahead of that curve. which isn't good for the company, but it could be good for us because we can capitalize on it. So with AMD, I'm looking at the 157.30 low into 157, and then after that, I have room down to 155 because congestion starts to pick up again at 154, 155-ish. So that's a good safe target for the meantime, and seeing where this heads going into this week with how weak it currently is. So that is why I have AMD cooked up with that. Next up is Google. Google's a little further away, but as far as Google goes, currently in the ascending wedge. You can see at 179 roughly, it is having a hard time trying to close above here. But as far as the safer play goes, I won't be touching Google until 180. After we get to 180, I really have room on this till 182 here, which is all-time high on Google. So makes sense. Google's a little bit behind with the market making all-time highs, but that can change overnight or going into any pre-market session. Google can change sentiment just like that. So Google's one that's been paying a lot recently, so it's one to definitely keep an eye out for. Next up is Meta. Meta, with the market making all-time highs currently with a lot of these stocks, Meta is one that it's actually falling behind. You can see that we happen to make a breakout all the way up to 516, almost 517 on Wednesday, and we pulled all the way back. So as far as Meta goes, the only thing that I'm watching here is the channel we're currently in, but we're also watching the key level at 500 that it held on Friday morning here at pre-market session. So looking at 500, there's room down to 498 where congestion picks up again. So pretty safe area. You don't need that much on Meta to really make a good percent or good money on it. So I'll be watching the 500 level with room down to 498, which is where our channel has room to, which is beyond perfect on this stock. So that is Meta. Microsoft, probably one of the cleanest setups this out of all our whole watch list. But you can see here, let me put this on the 1 hour for you guys. You guys can see here on Microsoft, maybe the 30-minute would be cleaner here. Yeah, much cleaner here. You guys can see here on Microsoft, this is currently struggling to get above 443. And with the market at all-time highs right now, like I mentioned with the NQ, and Microsoft being a big part of NQ and SPY, you can use either one as an indicator when you're watching this or even trading this. Both are near all-time highs with the indexes, and Microsoft is near all-time highs. So we can only assume that Microsoft will follow near, or maybe will follow it. But, you know, you guys know me with market sentiment. Market sentiment plays a big role when we're playing these trades or playing into these stocks. The only red flag that I have on this trade is on the 4 hour, I believe. Yeah, on the 4 hour with the algo that Nor has for the chat, this currently has a uptrend that it has been respecting since April 25th of this year. You can see how much we're respecting it and how much we're rejecting off of it. So it's something to keep an eye out for. But for the shorter term, for the bigger picture, or for the shorter term, for the picture we have with the small consolidation it's had with these past 3 days, I'm looking at 443 for an entry if this is strong pre-market, and then taking that into 443.40, which is the all-time high right here. I have room up to 445 because of the way Microsoft has broken out in the past with these all-time highs. This has a lot of room to run, especially if it gets the momentum going ahead of NQ or ES. So that is the play on Microsoft. And last but not least, as far as the main watch list goes, I have TSM. TSM, pretty simple setup here. It's just in the middle of two areas right now, either looking at 176, which is currently the flat top level or the all-time high, or we can look at 170.30, which is where I'd be looking to take my entry on this if we come into the downside, into 170 with room down to 168.50. We have a $2 gap there, so it's something worth noting down for a stock like this. This stock does move well to the upside. Not too familiar with the downside, so it's something I have to keep an eye out for with how those option contracts move. So, and then as far as our side watch list goes, we have a lot of side watch list stocks as well. Apple, nothing too crazy. You guys know Apple went absolutely insane this week after their AI conference that they had. So this obviously, had the catch up to NVIDIA and show them who the big boss is in the market, which is Apple. So Apple, really all I got for this is I'm looking at the 211.30 level around right here, which is the bottom that's currently making. After 211.30, I have room down to 210. I'm really not a fan of playing Apple to the downside, but it's something worth noting down with how weak this has been compared to the rest of the market. So it's something worth noting, just like with AMD. So next up is AVGO. This is getting a split soon. I forgot what the date is on top of my head. Pretty simple setup. We either have the gap down at 1652 all the way with room down to 1499, or we can play the all-time high at 1747 or at 1750. I'm looking to play 1750. It's a lot safer. It's a whole number. It's more of a psychological level at that point, so it's something that I am looking for on AVGO. And then two more stocks here. Crowd, usually not one part of our watches either. I explained why. with our students yesterday. But with crowd, the only thing that I'm really looking on for this is the 390 level. So you can see here, this 390 level, we currently have a flat top, and it's a level that we are currently holding. So as far as crowd goes, I'm looking to take this at 390 with room up to 393. Crowd likes to have some crazy breakouts. The times I've seen this or even played this, I've played this maybe 3 or 4 times at this point. Those breakouts are absolutely insane on this stock. So it's something I'm definitely going to be looking towards. Maybe I'll skip 390 and maybe just play the all-time high, maybe some sort of close above 390 to show me that this stock is strong. But this is a stock to definitely keep an eye out for, because this stock can move. So then last but not least is NVIDIA. You guys know we gotta have NVIDIA on here. NVIDIA, pretty simple setup. Just looking at the all-time high at 132.84 and taking that into 133. Nothing crazy. Pretty simple setup. 16-cent break, maybe even more, depending on how we break 133. But those small moves on NVIDIA pay now. So obviously it's different. The stock split, everything changes with the option contracts and the moves that you need for it to really pay out. That's more than enough to get a premium flip from this high into 133. So pretty simple setup. That's why it's a part of the side stock watch list, and we're kind of just playing an all-time high on that. So, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the watch list. That is about it. Like I said, it was a lot to cover with this week's video, just due to the amount of stocks that we have added to our rotation that we need to keep an eye out for now that NVIDIA has split, and we kind of lost that volatility and reliance to have that stock every day as part of our watch list. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would really appreciate it. 1,100 subscribers. Next goal is 1,200 now. So appreciate it, guys. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and take care. Peace out.